Mitigating the effects of turnover. Mitigating the effects of turnover is the process of allowing the rate at which employees leave a company to remain constant while controlling performance disruption and project execution. High rates of turnover are normally harmful to a company because important information, normally referred to as organizational memory, is lost when these employees leave. Because of this, all important information must be shared among all employees of a company. This can be accomplished by sharing mental models within project teams.
Making concepts connect. So as we were going over our topic, mediating effects of turnover, these are just three things that automatically stuck out to me. They're three examples of just concepts we've learned in the past that were familiar. So first we have interviews. So basically by creating a diverse group of people who are familiar with the company's needs and what will be seeked out in the new hire, this is just a panel that would basically um, do research prior on each candidate and create follow-up questions just to help the interview be successful. And so that would be beneficial because the selection of the new hire should be executed in a professional and adequate manner. So the position is filled by a qualified candidate, basically just meaning that if the interview is successful, then the turnover that is occurring won't be for nothing, and it'll also be like efficient and useful. Second, we have mental models. So assuring the transition, either permanent or just a shift change, is conducted smoothly, just making sure that the ideas, thoughts, and suggestions were not falling through the cracks. Basically just making sure that nothing falls through in the transition from one hire to the next. That way everything is adequately and done professionally. It's beneficial because any ideas, tasks, thoughts lost could be an opportunity missed, and it could technically hurt the firm or the company in the long run. And the third thing that caught my eye that I thought I could connect to mediating turnover would be application outreach. This one also kind of connects back to the interviews. Basically, it's just important to determine if the new applicant should be found internally or externally. Internally, example would be within the company. Externally could be like broadcasting, a local university, ads, local institutes, things like that. And good applicant outreach could be beneficial because the applications that people submit, the outreach that you do to find the applicants, it would be suitable if you had the proper outreach. It's just more beneficial if all of the applicants are suitable. That way you're picking from a group of qualified people, numerous qualified people. So these are just a few ways that I thought that connect back. Next, we're going to give you a video example.
So we will now watch a short clip of an example of one way to mitigate turnover.
Lead guitar, Zack Attack. Take a seat. On bass, Posh Spice. On keyboards, Mr. Cool. And on drums, Spazzy McGee. Okay, Blondie, Braceface, you're singing backup. All right, tough guy, shortstop, fancy pants, get over here. You guys are on security detail. Your job is to make sure no one outside this room knows what we're doing in here. The future of the band depends on you. Okay, your first mission, soundproofing this room. Get on it.
Can I be the band stylist instead?
Of course you can, fancy pants. Okay. Carrot Top, Roadrunner, Turkey Sub. We are going to have a lot of equipment. We're talking amps, electric guitars, maybe even lasers, and smoke machines. Now your job is to master the transportation and operation of this technology. Seriously, without a first-rate roadie crew, we'll never have a psychedelic show. And I can't live with that, okay? I'm counting on you. Get going. Go! All right. You three, groupies. And your job is simple. Just worship the band. And you're going to be making hats. You're going to be making t-shirts, all kinds of merchandise, which leads me to your first assignment, naming the band. All right, sit down.
Alright, so this clip is a good example of mental model number 3, which is a lack of common team interaction. And this model discusses how a greater understanding of the roles and responsibilities of each team member helps improve performance. Following this model helps organizations and companies to be better prepared for the harmful effects of turnover by having all members understand the processes of someone else's job or duties.
Which HRM strategy applies to mitigating the effects of turnover? This would be the committed expert and the loyal soldier strategy. The committed expert helps to build the workplace with critical skills that other employees and companies may not possess, especially companies that are concerned with making talent. Making sure these employees have these skills is important to success. Having these skills can potentially make it harder for other organizations to have the same standard and quality within their business. With this being said, the employer would not want to lose any of their employees to other divisions within the company, much less to their competitors. Losing employees like this at high rates diminish their competitive advantage. The loyal soldier strategy focuses on hiring people who fit the culture of the company and keeping them satisfied, as well as customers satisfied, in order to help reduce turnover. This may include promotions and raises. Retaining these employees helps to reduce recruiting and hiring expenses and gives workers a sense of stability that can convince an employee to work for lower wages than some of their competitors.
So, mitigating the effects of turnover can be very beneficial for management and to take into consideration when running any type of business. And for example, in the article that we read, it explained how military turnover is very high because these servicemen and women are constantly changing locations and leaving assignments to go home and visit their families. So this keeps the morale high, which then later on will help their performance. And if those in charge were not supportive of the high turnover and constant changes, it would affect the military negatively. Goals would not be met, and there would be a higher chance for burnout to take place. So managers must understand that by mitigating these effects of turnover, it creates a more successful work environment. And there are certain challenges that do come with implementing high turnover, but they are worth analyzing and considering. It is important to be aware that the lack of common technology and equipment in the workplace will reduce efficiency among newcomers. So instead, managers should establish one common database where everyone in a certain industry can go to the same place to look for relevant information. And managers must also focus on the lack of clear and concisely defined tasks. This can cause confusion, lower self-efficiency, and frustrate new employees. So by using common organizational structures, new employees are more likely to feel comfortable and confident in the work they are doing. It's very important that managers understand the importance of team interaction and how effective it can be for new employees to get a feel for all aspects of the company. And developing relationships will also allow new employees to see how different people work in certain environments. And if managers do not focus on mitigating the effects of turnover, it can be very detrimental to their success. Employees could lose motivation, self-confidence, and creativity, and in turn will hurt the future of the company. So it's important that managers create smooth transitions within the turnover process to ensure having a high turnover will continue to be beneficial for them.